Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Coast to Coast Racing League, as it is Sunday night racing action Sunday Funday here, as I am Travis Piercefield, and this is the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we welcome you to the Pro Late Model Division presented by Extreme eSpeed TV, as we are now here with the C2C Racing Network pre-race show. Of course, midget racing just got done, as now we head here to Eldora for the Pro Late Model Division. And as we take a look at those Sim Racer Hub standings coming into tonight, it is Trevor Giroux who's been on a good streak as of late. 5 top 10s, 5 top 5s, and 5 races here, leading Brett Walsh, Kurt Schatzer, Brandon Templeton, John Heinier, top 5. Brandon Templeton, Clayton Clewell, Patrick Spangler, all with 1 win this season here this summer. Joseph Randy, who won last week, picking up 2 here in 2 races for him here in these Pro Late Models, as our practice session continues on. As we'll show those practice times over to the left of guys that have been on, 14 drivers on the track. Brendan Dittmer also here as well, has not been on the track during this practice session. As we wait for this practice session to wind down, looks like Jordan Dye is going to head out on the track, get some laps in here. John Hine, 45 laps. Trevor Giroux, 46 laps. We saw him last week getting a lot of time on the track at Lucas Oil before a podium finish. So that extra practice time paid off for him last week. We'll see what it does for this week. Zach Chapman has just entered as well. Steven Spees out on the track in his 55 machine, looking to get some time in here. As we count down to our Sunday's Funday summer season, week number 6. As we wind down with cars on the track. And we will actually move on to our qualifying session now here. First time cars will be on the track here at Eldora for time and standing purposes. As we see Jordan Dye out there on the track. Brandon Dittmer will jump to the top of the charts. A 15.92, Dye in second. The good 6th fastest. His cars are out quickly here at Eldora Speedway, half mile. Looking to get their times in here. Templeton still atop the charts. Barker up into the 7th. Now he'll drop to the 9th, as Hine will move up the standings here in qualifying. Trevor Giroux finishing up his lap. Looks like Steven Spees still out there on the track as well in that 55 machine. Blake Carl out there on the track as well. Carl will be the 15th driver to make time. Everyone made a time with the exception of Michael Todd. So we'll see if he makes a time lap or not. As you see, Spees done with his lap. Blake Carl going to finish up his second lap here for time. And just like that, it will come to an end. Brandon Templeton will be our fast time here at Eldora. And with that, we'll move on to our Gambler Motorsports Heat Race number 1. And they're going to line up like this. Front row, it's Tyler Flynn alongside the 71 of John Hine. Row number 2, it's Brandon Dittmer next to Brandon Templeton. Fifth will be Jordan Dye alongside Blake Carl. Bob DeGood in the 7th spot alongside Clay Christopherson. And that will be our starting lineup here in Gambler Motorsports. Heat race number 1. So John Hine Flynn will lead us to green here at Eldora for heat race number 1. What should be 2 heat races here to set our field for our 30-lap feature event tonight. Stephen King Foundation Pace Truck pulls on in. Green flag from Eldora coming this time by Hine Flynn off into turn number 1. Flynn down to the inside, Dittmer down there as well, as Flynn will get a little out of sorts there. He'll fall back to the 4th position as Templeton will pounce on that. Hine will take over the lead as now it's Dittmer and Flynn battling for that 3rd position as Templeton's now moved up 2 spots quickly into that 2nd spot. Dittmer and Flynn continue to exchange that 3rd spot. Now it's Dittmer in that position as out front it's still John Hine in that Bass Pro Shops number 71. Coming to 3 to go this time by. Hine continues to lead. You got to go back to Carl and Dye as they battle for the 6th spot. Carl up there to the outside, Dye to his inside. Great battles here in the back as it's still John Hine out front. He's been able to separate from Templeton. Templeton put some distance between he and Brandon Dittmer in the 3rd spot is coming out of turn number 4. The white flag waves this time by. Out of turn number 4, heat race number 1 presented by Gambler Motorsports will go to Gambler Motorsports number 71, John Hine. Templeton 2nd, Tyler Flynn in 3rd for heat race number 1. Quickly moving on through, we will move on to Regency Home Inspection heat race number 2. And they will line up like this as it's Brett Walsh on the pole next to Trevor Giroux. Kurt Schatzer in 3rd alongside Steven Spees. 5th will be Zach Chapman in the 72 alongside Jeff Barker. Logan Wentz in 7th. Michael Todd in the 8th spot. We'll see if Michael Todd will report here. As Regency Home Inspection heat race number 2. Preparing to roll on out behind that Stephen King Foundation Pace Truck. So our 2nd heat race of the night here for the Extreme E-Speed TV Pro Late Model Division. Of course, this should set the outside row for that 30-lap feature event. It's Walsh, Giroux, front row. Coming out of turn number 4. Green flag waves, we're back racing at Eldora. Giroux's got that outside line. That was the preferred line for John Hine in that first heat. He's got Steven Spies trying to get around Schatzer in row number 2. The 75 will have the advantage by the time they come out of turn number 4. He'll lead lap number 1. Schatzer now looking to the inside of Walsh as Walsh slid up in front of Spies to that outside line. Now Schatzer will slide up for a moment. Spies will now have to look down to the inside for third. They continue to battle as now Trevor Giroux under attack. It's Walsh with the crossover. Giroux will cross him back over down the backstretch, regain that lead, head off into turn number 3. And now Walsh is under attack by Schatzer behind him as he's looking to move into that second spot. Schatzer following that Walsh machine as they go down the backstretch. Front 4 have broken away ever so slightly with Trevor Giroux leading out front. 3 laps to go this time by. Behind them, Zach Chapman and Logan Wentz as Chapman gets into the wall. They were battling for the 5th position as now Schatzer's back on the attack, looking under Walsh for the 2nd spot as he's got Spies on his tail. White flag waves for Trevor Giroux out front. Schatzer and Spies continue to battle for that 3rd spot, but coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be the 75 of Trevor Giroux. 3rd will go to Schatzer just in front of Spies. Brett Walsh will come home in 2nd. And as we head to our warm-up session, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we have your Extreme E-Speed TV Pro Late Model feature event from Eldora.
Raceway, they're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses of man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. Here come the Cool Ray Coast to Coast Racing League Sprint Cars and the Mike Westbrook Memorial for the Knoxville Nationals. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Green, Spangler, green flag, showtime, Knoxville Nationals are green.
The Coast to Coast Racing League, in partnership with Dylan Westbrook Racing and Malcolm's Mills Mill Ready, are proud to present the 5th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals for the Steve King Foundation. July 22nd to July 25th, 4 days of Knoxville action using the actual Knoxville Nationals point system. Over $500 in payouts as well as loads of door prizes. $15 for Coast to Coast members. $20 for non-Coast to Coast members with a max I rating of 3,000. All registration fees go directly to the Steve King Foundation. Feel free to donate more. Open setup 360s with all races at the Knoxville Raceway. The event will be open to the first 100 drivers. All races will be broadcasted on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. For more info, log on to www.c2crl.com. It's showtime!
Welcome back to Eldora Speedway. Is this warm-up session coming to an end? As we will see John Hine and Trevor Giroux take the green flag from the front for this 30-lap feature event tonight. Just like that, we're going to head into that starting lineup here in a moment. Of course, our starting lineup presented by RSN Trackside, and it's going to line up like this for 30 laps at Eldora. It's John Hine alongside Trevor Giroux, row number 1. Brandon Templeton alongside Brett Walsh, row number 2. Starting 5th is Tyler Flynn alongside Kurt Schatzer. Clay Christopherson in 7th alongside Steven Spies. Jordan Dye in 9th next to Logan Wentz. 11th, Blake Carl alongside Jeff Barker. 13th, Bob DeGood next to Zachary Chapman. And our final row will be Brandon Dittmer alongside Michael Todd. So cars roll on out behind that Stephen King Foundation pace truck as we get ready to go back to racing action here at Eldora. 30 laps around this Ohio half mile. Of course, home to the Dream and the World 100. So lights are off the Stephen King Foundation pace truck as he should pull off of turn number 4 next time by John Hine, Trevor Giroux, leading us to green. Of course, those are two guys that have been up front quite frequently as of late, as has that second row. Of course, you got Spies and Schatzer down there in the middle of the pack. Always good options at moving up through the field. And then you can go all the way to the back with Zach Chapman, Brandon Dittmer. Some guys that will be looking to move up throughout the field during this. As they come out of turn number 4 at Eldora, the Extreme E Speed TV Pro late models are green at Eldora. John Hine has the lead down the backstretch. Templeton very quickly already underneath him. He's going to slide up in front of him in turn number 4. He's going to take over the lead as it's Walsh and Giroux. They're battling for the 3rd spot. Templeton, a power move up 2 spots very quickly here is now John Hine's under attack from Walsh. Tyler Flynn, Jordan Dye, 2 guys that have fallen back here quickly. Middle of the pack. As up front, they'll get nose to tail. As you see Wentz looking around the outside of Flynn. Barker behind them along with Jordan Dye. Up just ahead, you've got Spies to the outside. He's trying to follow Schatzer around Christopherson. Trevor Giroux trying to track down Brett Walsh as the front 4 mostly nose to tail here. Spies coming up to Schatzer now. He's got that outside line as well. Zach Chapman back in 11th. He's up 3 spots as he looks around Barker there. But out front, it's Brandon Templeton leading John Hine. As now John Hine will look to the inside down the front stretch. Nothing there. Very quickly, 5 laps down. Only 25 laps to go here at Eldora. Spies looking to the inside of Schatzer now as they continue to battle for the 5th spot. Nothing there as of yet, as now it's Logan Wentz up 2 spots. He's looking to the inside. 24 laps to go now. Schatzer continues to hold on to that 5th position. Looking at the closest battle on the track here right now. Contact coming out of turn number 4 for these 3. As Wentz will slide up. Now he's the meat in the sandwich coming out of 2. Hine now under attack by Brett Walsh. As now even Hine pokes his nose under that 31 at Templeton. 3 wide for the lead. Hine's going to slide up into front of Templeton. Templeton gets out of sorts to try to check up. Through 3 and 4 now it's John Hine. He will lead here and lead on lap number 9. Templeton's regained his mojo now in 3rd as he holds off Trevor Giroux. He led the first 8 laps here. Now he has to regroup, get back towards the front as Giroux's down to the inside now. It's going to be Spies and Schatzer with that momentum on the outside. Is very quickly, 10 laps complete, 20 to go here. As out front, it's still John Hine. He has Walsh right behind him, as they've been from the start of this one. Some housekeeping. Michael Todd did not grid, so he did not start. And Brandon Dittmer out on lap number 6. A dozen laps complete here, 18 laps to go. As the front 6 have settled down. Spies still all over Schatzer. That's the closest battle on the track as of right now. Is contact there. Schatzer will save it, slide up into that wall. They'll be 4 wide coming out of 2 possibly here. As Schatzer and Spies made contact. Great save by Schatzer. He's regrouped and now in that 6th position. As mentioned, Zachary Chapman now up 6 spots, up into 8th in that 72 as we go halfway. Cross sticks this time by 15 laps to go. It's still John Hine out front, Walsh, Templeton, Spies the front 4 who have broken away ever so slightly. Chapman trying to track down Jordan Dye for that 8th position. He's up 5 positions. Spies is up 4 positions as he rides now in that 4th spot. He's now looking to the inside of Templeton for 3rd. Templeton, slight contact with the wall there. It won't slow down his momentum enough, though. His Spies unable to take advantage of it. Caution flag comes out. Looks like it's Kurt Schatzer. 12 laps to go. Our first caution of the night. We'll take a look at that Malcolm Millwright replay. It's going to be the 218 of Schatzer. Oh, just into the wall there, going into 3. And that is going to be enough as he goes around there in turn number 4. Single car incident, thankfully. As the caution will come out with 12 laps to go. So a dozen laps to go here when we go back to this green flag racing at Eldora. It's John Hine, Brett Walsh, Brandon Templeton, Steven Spies, your top 4. It'll be a double file restart as the lights go off that Stephen King Foundation pace truck. So 2x2 down the backstretch here at Eldora, they will come. That pace truck will pull off of the track over at the exit of turn number 4. As we are set to get back to green flag racing action. Zach Chapman now up 7 spots into the 7th position. As John Hine will jump back out front. Walsh has Templeton to his inside. Giroux's down there as well. As very quickly racing heats up for that 2nd position. Walsh is able to clear for a moment as now Templeton will slide up. Spies is in that outside line as well. John Hine watching plenty of racing action behind him with now just 10 laps to go. Front 3 are nose to tail. Then that battle for 3rd heats up with Templeton to the inside. Christofferson in 5th now. A good run for Clay there. But it's still John Hine out front with 9 laps to go. As now Spies looking to slide up on Walsh. Walsh will close the door. Spies will now go under attack to Templeton. Templeton to his outside for third. Templeton gets in the wall. Spies gets in the wall. That's going to stack them up. Templeton, caution flag as we watch that one happen. Spies and Templeton made contact there as Templeton gets into that wall, and that will be our second caution of the night with 7 laps to go. So now it'll be 7 laps to go when we go back to green, as John Hine, Brett Walsh, Steven Spies now your top 3. So the lights are off. It looks like we will have a single file restart here with 7 laps to go. John Hine still out front. Brett Walsh second. Steven Spies in third now. Templeton will line up in 13th. Jordan Dye is in 14th, 1 lap down. Green flag waves. John Hine's able to jump out front. Brett Walsh quickly under attack by Steven Spies. Zach Chapman down there as well, as Walsh will stay middle line there. Christopherson looking to the outside. He'll get checked up behind that 52 as Spies able to hold on to that second position for a moment. 6 laps to go now. It's the battle for second that heats up. Walsh gets into Spies as they make contact. Spies comes around Walsh up the track. Trevor Giroux involved. Jeffrey Barker involved. Caution flag will come out, and look at that. Our old-time broadcast partner, Zach Chapman, quickly up into that second position now here with 3 quick cautions. So Spies and Walsh made contact as Walsh heavily damaged. He's going to come out short end of the stick as he got contact, then turned up across the track. And it looks like it's Hine, Spies, Chapman, Giroux, your top 4. Schatzer in 5th. So John Hine out front. Lights are off the Stephen King Foundation pace car. Another single file restart here. Brett Walsh still in the pit area. Looks like Christopherson may be off the track as well. Green flag waves. John Hine will take us back to green here. 5 laps to go now, as we had a good clean race the first 15 laps. Second half we've had 3 cautions here to break up 10 more of these laps here. Now we count down 4 to go here. Chapman looking to the inside of Spies as it's Gambler Motorsports 1, 2, 3 right now. Giroux in 4th, and now Wentz is taking over that 5th spot from Schatzer. John Hine, 3 laps to go this time by. Spies able to hold on to that 2nd position. Cars separated all around the track here now on this latest single file restart with 5 laps to go. Now 2 laps to go. Chapman continues to try to track down Spies, not making much ground there. Spies using that outside line as the preferred line here. Chapman just trying to chip away every chance he can. Best race on the track right now as the white flag waves as Bob did good. But out front, it's at 71 of John Hine. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag will wave. It's 71 of John Hine. Chapman will slide across Spies. He will grab 2nd. So it's Hine, Chapman, Spies, your top 3. So there is John Hine as he will pull into victory lane. Fireworks go off here at Eldora. See the flames here at the finish line and victory lane of Eldora Speedway. Good night for Gambler Motorsports. As we will talk to, it looks like we've got our 2nd place finisher. It's Zach Chapman coming home 2nd tonight. Zach, you traded in the booth for your racing helmet, and you made the most of it as you're up 12 spots. Walk us through that race to a 2nd place finish.
Yeah, I messaged Roger earlier last night. Sorry about that. If you hear commotion in the back, Travis, I got a lot of people at my house right now, so I was going to be no help in the booth tonight. There's a lot going on, but I was happy that I could come out here and showcase that maybe I still got it after all.
Well, you used that long 15-lap green run at the start to make your way up into the top 10, and then those cautions there, the final 15 laps, just what you needed to keep chipping away closer and closer to the front.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to go up high, and I told Steven about it, and then he started to run that 3 and 4 slider line. I was just running the middle there in 3 and 4. It seemed like guys kind of gave up on it and were running the top there. And, man, you were making so much time if you could hit that tack there, especially in the center, right there in the middle of 3 and 4. You could just almost step right back in the throttle and straighten the thing out and go. That's where I was definitely making up my time tonight.
Well, you look at it, it's you and Steven Spies, the 2 that moved up through the field the most. You've got your Gambler Motorsports teammate picking up the victory. What's that say about Gambler Motorsports tonight here at Eldora?
It says that every now and then, we got some speed. And, Steven here, I think he saw me throwing that move, and I'd love to see the onboard. I bet you he cracked the throttle and gave me P2 there, but either way, it was a good, hard-fought battle, and, man, I'm really happy for our Gambler team here.
Well, great run, Zach. It was fun watching you out on the track. Who are those people you want to give a shout-out to tonight?
You first, Travis. I know how hard that is to do by yourself, and we really appreciate you doing it. And you'll have me back next week here. Shouldn't have any family events, so big shout-out to you. You do a great job. Roger here at Coast to Coast. None of this would happen without him. All my teammates at Gambler, my dad, my wife for letting me race even while we have people over. That's how cool my wife is. I'm a really lucky guy. And, I guess that's going to do it, Travis. It's been a while since I've had one of these. I normally ask the questions.
Well, great run, Shaggy. We look forward to seeing you back up here with us next Sunday.
Yep, appreciate it.
That's Zach Chapman, our 2nd place finisher tonight. Now we'll go to the guy he beat just there at the end. It's Steven Spies, our 3rd place finisher. Steven, eventful night. You ran up front a majority of it there. Walk us through that race to a 3rd place finish.
It's been a long time since I have raced Eldor in these cars, and I think it showed. I was a little rusty and kind of playing pinball a little bit. I think I probably owe at least one apology. I think maybe I didn't know Brandon had such a run, and I think I may have walled him, but looks like he came back for a decent finish at least. But yeah, it was a little rough tonight.
I was talking to Zach about it. Gambler Motorsports 1, 2, 3. How's it feel to have the team out here and then be able to move up through the field? You up 5 spots, Zach up a dozen spots to be able to join the podium with your teammate John.
Yeah, always nice. It's we don't all get to race all together as often as we used to. Kind of everybody's got different things going on over this last year or so. So good showing. Zach had a heck of a run, so congrats to him.
Well, great run to a third place finish tonight, Steven. Who are those people you want to give a shout out to?
We just got to say thanks to you up in the booth, Extreme ESpeed TV, for giving us something to go watch. I'm going to have to go check this one out and see if I need to go on an apology tour or how it looks on the broadcast. We'll see.
Well, that is Steven Spees, our third place finisher tonight, as we'll now go down to victory lane. Talk to my old partner in crime, John Hines. John, you've had some great runs this summer in the Pro Late Model. You finally get to park it into victory lane.
Yeah, it's nice to get there, and it kind of helps when you don't have people throwing questionable sliders and help making it hard for you.
Well, there's a lot of chaos behind you. How important was it to one, start there on the front row and then be able to keep it up front? I know Templeton got in front of you the first 7, 8 laps, but once you were able to clear him, you had clean air the rest of the way.
Yeah, Brandon did a great job getting to the inside of me. It actually surprised me a little bit, but I was just trying to keep the car straight, and well, I kind of figured out that I was getting off the corners a little bit better than he was. He was pitching it just a little too much on corner entry, and then I was better than him center off. And once I got the lead, it becomes a tire thing. I mean, I know it's 30 laps, but there is still a difference between having 80% tread on your tires and 75. So from there, it was just trying to hit where I need to be on the track. And I figured, even though I'm laying a little bit up, probably giving up a half a tenth a lap from where I could have if I would have really pushed. But it got me to the end this time there. So it's nice. It's nice always to win here at the Big E, too. Big track.
Well, especially there at the end, that final 5 laps, it looked like that outside line was obviously the preferred line. Once you were able to clear Steven behind you, did you feel pretty comfortable where it was just hit your marks and you knew you'd be able to at least have a chance without a risky slider to come home in the victory?
Yeah, I mean, I don't run a mirror, so I didn't know what was going on behind me. All I know is I didn't hear anybody, and that's always a good thing. But I was just going what was working. My lap times were staying consistent, so I stayed where it was. I went up top, I think, one time to see what was up there in 1 and 2, and luckily a caution came out because I think Brett Walsh there got a run and actually passed me going into 3. And as soon as he got around me, caution comes out, and I got the spot back, and I didn't venture back up there, which is too bad because I like it when I can go up top there and rip it along that wall. But this is the first time in a long time I've run these cars here where we weren't right up on that wall to go fast.
Well, it was fun to watch. A great run for you, and like I said, finally picking up a victory this summer with a fast car all summer long. Who are those sponsors, and who are those people you want to give a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to you, Andy, and everybody at eSpeed TV, for bringing this thing to life and putting it out there. And I'd like to thank Bass Pro Shops, a great place to come. And it doesn't matter if you're a hunter, doesn't matter if you're a camper, fisherman, whatever the case might be. If you like the outdoors, come on out to Bass Pro, and well, almost anything in the world that you want will be there. So I'd also like to thank my gambler teammates. We had a gambler 1, 2, 3 tonight. That is freaking awesome. It's been a long time since I think we've done that. So that's a pretty neat accomplishment. And then like to thank my wife. She lets me do this and doesn't give me too much grief about it. So I just want to say thank you to her.
Well, you mentioned it, a 1-2-3 finish for Gambler Motorsports, a 1-2 finish for broadcast partners of Travis Piercefield
That's
as
true.
well. So
Yes.
overall, good night there. But congratulations, John. We look forward to talking to you again next Sunday.
Yep. Thank you.
That is John Hine, our winner tonight here at the Big E Eldora Speedway for the Extreme E Speed TV Pro Late Model Division. As always, thank you for tuning in to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. As always, we have racing action all week long, including our special events coming up next week. Make sure you tune in each and every night for more information and information on how to join the Coast to Coast Racing League. But for tonight, I am Travis Piercefield with Extreme E Speed TV, and I thank you, and I will see you at a racetrack soon.